So, the event last night was our appetizer for this upcoming weekend, which is going to be a much bigger event for most in the Willamette Valley. I will also be going why 10 miles made a big difference for some on Tuesday. The National Weather Service watches and warnings show a winter weather advisory up for the lowlands of the northern Willamette Valley and the Columbia River Gorge plus Northern Coast Range until Wednesday at 6 a.m. So by the time a good chunk of you are watching this will have expired. There is a blizzard warning in effect till Wednesday at 4 p.m. for the Cascades, in addition to a winter storm warning for the same areas. Now on to why a few miles made the difference for some. In red, I had my projected low pressure or system path where I had it making landfall at Cape Lookout and traveling due east or just barely south of due east, essentially hugging the southern tip of the metro area. As a result, that's why I made my snowfall forecast a trace to 3 inches going all the way south to Wilsonville, and my Chehalem Mountain forecast being 2 to 6 inches. However, what actually happened is that low pressure system made landfall 10 miles to the north as the crow flies right around Tillamook Bay and proceeded due east or just south of due east from there, instead crossing over the metro area between Tigard and Beaverton and then crossing over into Clackamas and proceeding east from there. That changed where the snow and ice battleground or snow and rain battleground was at to anywhere north of this line, and anywhere to the south I have not seen significant snow reports except at higher elevations, though the Chehalem Mountains at 1,000 feet I have not seen any snow reports, likely signifying that it's all rain. Please correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section below. But that did benefit some in the northern metro area, especially if you're 200 feet or higher, which appeared to be the snow level for Clark County, where you got heavier precipitation, which brought the snow levels even lower than it otherwise would have been, hence why you got snowfall. And in my video yesterday, I did say sticking snow would be possible under these heavier bands, but that was the main event. Otherwise, it'd pretty much be limited to the higher hills. So, successful forecast north of this line, not as successful south of the blue line, unfortunately. Now, on to this weekend, and I'm pulling back a map out of the archives that I made from a previous forecast last December, where I was going over different zones in the Willamette Valley when it comes to forecasting where ice is going to be. It is incredibly rare for areas in the direct outflow of the Columbia River Gorge to be experiencing freezing rain at the same time as the rest of the Willamette Valley. So as a result, I generally will not forecast for Portland to be in ice and Corvallis to Eugene being in ice as well. I could forecast a transition from ice to snow, and that is definitely possible this coming weekend for Portland, and then areas to the south can go into ice later. That is a possibility, or ice starting out in the Willamette Valley and Portland transition from snow to ice. That is still possible. Now, the in-between zone, which is the rest of the metro area, doesn't really apply to these rules as much, but tends to be a little bit more of a battleground. A lot of times, like for example, in February 2021, this area ends up as sleet rather than pure snow, like Zone 1 was during February 2021, and ice in Zone 3. But other times it can more closely act to what Zone 1 or Zone 3 is, depending on what happens to the low pressure system. That is a detail that I will work to iron out in the next couple of days as I get more information on what is going to be happening this coming weekend, because there is still a considerable amount of uncertainty. To give you a gauge, I was more confident in my forecast for February 22nd, 2023, aka this past big snowstorm, than I am this coming weekend in terms of low placement. So onto the setup and the difference in low placements and what they would cause. So the southern solutions would have the low coming ashore either around the Oregon-California border, maybe even a little further to the south. That would keep most, if not all, of the Willamette Valley dry. Now, this is a solution not shown by both of the major global models, the American GFS and the European model, but it is shown by other models, including the ICON model. So the second solution, which is promoted by the European model, I will do that one in orange, shows a landfall location right at around Coos Bay that has been wobbling. So on their ensemble suite, which is 50 different members, that is rerun over and over again to see how closely packed each member is, aka trying to figure out the uncertainty. That ranges pretty much from Coos Bay on up to the Newport area. So the median would probably be between Reedsport and Florence from what I am seeing. And the northern solution, which is the GFS model, and I will do this in green, is showing the low pressure system on Saturday making landfall right around Tillamook Bay. Now, that is a similar landfall location to what has occurred this past evening. So my first thought would be could be a similar setup, but it is going to bring in much stronger east winds. And the thing with this event is last night we didn't have a huge pool of cold air to pull from. It was just some weaker cold air. This coming weekend we do. There will be modified Arctic air that is coming south out of British Columbia and into the Columbia Basin. The main Arctic air mass will stay in the Columbia Basin and east of the Rockies. However, each of these three low pressures or landfalls will bring in cold air through the Columbia River Gorge into the Portland metro area and then further south into the Willamette Valley from there. That will bring colder temperatures, and that is one thing that I am certain about is going to happen this weekend, regardless of the precipitation scenarios. So back to the low pressure system and what could happen with the precipitation scenarios. If going from north to south, if the GFS model proves to be correct, Portland would probably be in ice for most of the time, maybe briefly as snow. For the middle track or the European model, it would be Portland would probably be in snow, or the precipitation could get completely dried out by the east wind, which tends to be a drier wind if it is strong enough, and the rest of the Willamette Valley is in ice or snow, depending on the low pressure landfall. And then if that lower solution happens, none of the Willamette Valley is going to have any sort of precipitation. So onto my knowns for this coming weekend. So I am going to be punting details another 2 days. But what I do know is this. The cold temperatures are certain. To give you a look into the models, the European ensemble mean is showing 19 degrees for the high on Saturday, with the American model showing 20. Doesn't get that much warmer on Sunday, if it does at all. And most, if not all, warmer solutions appear to be out of reach now that were previously showing in previous model runs. Corvallis does look to be 5 degrees warmer than Portland on Saturday, but similar to the Euro on Sunday, to the Portland Euro temperatures, with the GFS also saying it is warmer than the Portland metro area. I do expect east wind gusts will reach 25 to 40 miles per hour in the Portland metro area in the usual spots. So again, if precipitation is light and or the low pressure goes far enough south, that can dry out the precipitation. So that is something that I am watching. I should have details in 2 days to iron this out. I am not planning to come out with a video tomorrow, though I will try to make a 7-day forecast and post it to the community channel or community portion of my channel. So on to the 7-day forecast, and I will start with Corvallis and by extension the central and southern Willamette Valley. And I am predicting showers and sunbreaks for today and Thursday with high temperatures around 45 degrees. On Friday, I'm just predicting regular old showers with high temperatures in the lower 40s. And then on Saturday at this time, assuming the middle solution pans out, I am predicting an ice storm with high temperatures around 31 degrees. With a slow thaw Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday's the first chance for any warmer weather via a southerly push to come in. Right now, I'm predicting a high temperature of 40 degrees, but this is subject to change as more details get ironed out. Low temperatures will be in the lower 20s through this cold snap. And for the Portland metro area, for the areas that are still seeing snow showers, I do expect that to end before 7 a.m. this morning, transitioning back into rain, and then it'll just be regular old showers and sun breaks for the remainder of the day today and Thursday. Friday, the day I expect to start as rain with that 38-degree high temperature being earlier on in the day. And after sundown, I do expect to transition either a rain-snow mix, if not full on snow. And then going into Saturday, I am expecting at this time, again, assuming the middle solution pans out, a sleet storm or a full-on snowstorm with a high temperature of 27 degrees, a daily record cold for high temperature for the date, and then an even slower thaw than areas in the Willamette Valley, with high temperatures not breaking the freezing barrier until Tuesday. And it's looks like that the Portland area may not get a significant southerly push until even after Tuesday. Tuesday is also the first chance that I see, but that chance is lower. Low temperatures will be in the lower 20s. Also, as a note, I'm not predicting high temperatures are going to be as cold as what models are predicting, and that is simply because given the patterns the models are showing, I have not seen a example where it does get as cold as what they are showing. I need a little bit more details to be more confident in making a high temperature in the lower 20s. I am confident right now that the 27 degrees is my best estimate for this coming Saturday. So that is going to be it for this video. I will have those details hopefully ironed out in 2 days. So that is Thursday night to Friday morning. I will try to post a 7-day forecast in the community tab of my YouTube channel tomorrow. So look out for that as an interim content. Otherwise, please stay safe out there and take care.